It was another cold and rainy week throughout the area, causing some outdoor sports to be canceled. Good evening and welcome to Naperville Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Joe Kennedy. Despite the weather, we have plenty of action to get to in this week's episode, as the water polo regular season is already reaching the halfway point. The Metea Valley girls team look to stay undefeated, returning to DVC play against Neuqua Valley.
The undefeated Metea Valley Mustangs take on the Neuqua Valley Wildcats in both teams' third conference game of the season. Neuqua comes in on a 2-game winning streak, while Metea has won 9 of their 13 games by double digits. We start off minutes into the game as Allison Leslie finds Sarah Vokes in front of the net, where she sizes up her defender and finds the back of the net to make it 2-0 Metea. On the ensuing possession, Addison Bludgeon finds the ball, and after a scrum, she grabs it and fires it short side to extend the lead. Later in the quarter, Mustang goalie Juliana Carter heaves it full court to Leslie on the wing, and she wastes no time to put it in to make it 6-0. At the end of the quarter, Leslie finds herself with a penalty shot that she places just outside the goalie's reach. On the next possession for Metea, Brooke Granger finds Vokes close to the goal, who fires a no-look backhand to make it 11-0. To start the second half, Samira Nagdar for the Wildcats has a penalty shot for a chance to get on the board, and she fires it in to get the goose egg off the board. Next possession, Lizzie Rosenberg grabs the loose ball and puts it in for the second Wildcat goal of the night. As we move to the fourth, Vokes finds the goal to start the fourth quarter by throwing it short side bottom corner to extend the lead to 12. Later in the quarter, Lillian Whittle throws it topside over the goalie to make it a 16-point lead for the Mustangs, and that helps them to an 18-2 win and a 14-0 record. It's a crosstown classic for girls water polo as Naperville North welcomes Naperville Central to its home pool. These two teams met in last season's sectional final, where the Huskies came out victorious 5-3. The Huskies immediately go to work with Peyton Schreier, who gets the lob and fires it in for the game's first goal. Kelsey Wessel is back for her senior season as she seizes the right moment on defense and capitalizes with the goal. Talk about the right place, right time situation. On the next possession, North is on the attack once again, and Callista Jansen joins the scoring fiesta with a powerful shot that leaves the goalkeeper no chance, and that has the Huskies up 4-0. The Redhawks need some momentum, so Eleni Nicoludis does it all herself with a long goalie shot. They trail 5-1 after the first. In the second quarter, Wessel hits the fast break button. She dribbles, waits for a target shot, and she hits the bottom right corner. Huskies continue their aggressive run, up 7-1. Central won't go down without a fight, so Bethany Towers answers the call with a nice floater to give the visitors a spark. North keeps adding some benefits to the lead as Wessel finds Molly Deppes for the Husky goal. The Dogs hold a commanding 9-2 lead at the break. Redhawks start the second half on a good note with Towers gambling from long range, and it goes in. Then they pass the ball around, and it's capped off with a Rachel V-Weg skip shot. Redhawks trail 9-4, but they needed those 2 goals. Huskies put a stop to the swing with Kaylee Queen, who sneaks one past the goalie for yet another goal for the blue and orange. Kelsey Wessel caps off the dominating performance with their 5th goal of the game, and Naperville North cruises to a 15-4 win. The Crosstown Classic hits the pool as Naperville Central takes on Naperville North. The Redhawks won their last conference game against Neuqua Valley and look to avenge a 10-1 loss to the Huskies last month. The Huskies are on a 6-game winning streak going into this matchup and look to grab their 11th win of the season. After a foul by the Huskies, the Redhawks strike first with Henry LaPerna firing this one past the goalie. The Huskies have possession here as they look to tie the game. Jack Budeman gets it to Mason Hoffman, and he blasts it to the top corner, and we are tied at 1. North looks to take the lead as Brett Grady leads the way. He finds an open Hoffman, and he scores another one to make it 2-1 Huskies. Grady has possession here and sets up Jack Reif, who rips this shot into the back of the net for the blue and orange. North leads 5-1 after the first. The Redhawks snap the Huskies' 6-goal run thanks to a goal from Jack Travas. Caleb Usen throws a deep pass to Hoffman, and he jukes out goalie Ross Dezer and scores, and North has a 6-goal advantage. The Redhawks get one back as they try to rally for another goal. Laperna is able to pounce on the rebound and smash it home. Central trails 8-4 at the half. The Huskies show off their passing game here in the third as they try to maintain their big lead. Jacob Podkasik finds Hoffman and he buries it as North holds a commanding 13-5 lead. The Redhawks look to respond, and they do as Gervas rips this shot into the net. Central still has some work to do, down 15-7 after the third. The Huskies' offense stays hot as John Reardon goes for the goal. The ball gets past goalie Wiley Meese as he tries to keep it out, but Hoffman pokes this one and scores his 8th goal of the night. The Redhawks are not giving up as they keep pushing on. Laperna tosses it to Gervas, who scores to get his 6th goal of the game, but in the end, the Husky offense was too hot to handle as they take this one 17-11 over the Redhawks.
Fresh off of spring break, the Mattia Valley boys water polo players are back in the pool as they welcome their DVC foes, Neuqua Valley. Last season, the Wildcats came out on top in both matchups between these two teams. After a quick goal from Declan Puax, Neuqua Valley is on the attack again. Mario Valente passes ahead to Puax, and he evades one defender and fires it off the post and in. His 2nd goal of the game comes just 2 minutes into the action, 2-0 Wildcats. Moments later, Tony Newton lobs a pass over the middle to Neuqua teammate Gabriel Wu. In traffic, he fights off the defender and scores with a backhand. That makes it 4-0 Neuqua in the first quarter. Now in the second quarter with the Mustangs in possession. Alex Bounds approaching before connecting with teammate Matthew Henkel, who finishes the job. One of only 2 seniors on the Mattia Valley roster puts his team on the board. It's 4-1 with 5 minutes left in the half. With under 2 minutes left in the half, Puax sends a lead pass to Gabriel Wu, and he wins the one-on-one battle with the goalie for another score. That's Wu's 3rd goal of the game, giving the Wildcats a 6-1 lead. Just before the halftime break, the Wildcats quickly advance the ball ahead to Mario Valente, and he notches one more goal before the half. With that, Neuqua Valley goes into halftime with a 7-1 advantage. Later in the third, Eli Peterson tosses it over to Sam Sinsheimer in the middle, and he's able to shoot it through the defenders' waving arms for the Mattia Valley goal. It's now 8-2 with under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Now with less than 5 minutes to go in the game, Neuqua has a comfortable lead. Colin Mulligan offers a few pump fakes and then fires it into the net for the Wildcats' 10th goal of the contest. Neuqua Valley goes on to win the game 10-4 over Mattia, improving to 3-5 on the season.
We plan to cover 2 racket sports in tonight's show, but the weather pushed boys tennis to next week. Badminton continued indoors, and after the break, we'll see how our local teams look to start the DVC season.
You made a cow.
Actually, it's a piggy bank. My inspiration to start saving.
How about a more solid way to save?
I'm listening.
Well, BMO helps get your savings habit into shape with a cash reward every month you save.
Cash reward?
And there's a cash bonus when you open a new checking account to get you started.
Wow. Anything you can't do?
Mugs.
Local news is your lifeline. Let the Daily Herald help you navigate your world with solid reporting, good advice, and a much-needed diversion or two.
Birdies are out, so it's time for badminton as defending sectional champs Naperville Central take a trip to Waubonsie Valley for the DVC opener. Last season, it was the Redhawks that came out victorious over the Warriors. We start with the three doubles featuring Central's Bavia Chowdavarapu and Yainu Zhang facing Wabanzi Simran Chideri and Maya Masuda. Right away, it's the Warrior duo coming out with the point trying to steal momentum. Later on, Chowdavarapu and Zhang put their swing on the birdie and win in straight sets 21-18 and 21-17. Redhawks have Hannah Chu and Nicole Liang representing the two doubles against Alexa Allert and Anna Buckenauer. Buckenauer and Allert are on to serve and start a small rally and get the point after a failed NC sendback. However, Chu and Liang remain calm and bring out the brooms to win in two sets by scores of 21-14 and 21-15. Central's Megan Moreno and Zoe Tian take on Dub V's Nora George and Manju Balaji in the one doubles. This one features a quick rally and Moreno finishes it off with an aggressive sendback. The two-set victory for Moreno and Tian caps off a Red Hawk double sweep. Manju Balaji for Wabanzi and Hannah Chu from Naperville Central are going at it in the three singles. It was a very competitive matchup with Balaji getting an early push after Chu won set 1 in dominating fashion. Although Chu had to come back in the second set and win it 22-20 to complete the sweep. Central gets a forfeit win in the one singles, so we wrap up with the two singles. Wabanzi's Nora George is playing in this spot for the first time and is off to a great start on Central's Megan Moreno. George takes that first impression to another level by sweeping Moreno in the two singles, but it's the Redhawks with the last laugh, winning the DVC opener 11-4.
The girls' badminton season is back on the court as two of the top programs in the state go head-to-head, with Neuqua Valley visiting Naperville North. You never know what you'll see at a match like this one, from big-time smashes to a hot dog eating a cookie. Starting things off at number 3 doubles, we see Micah Chung and Tavneet Godoki from Naperville North against Daya Gowda and Sanaya Joseph from Neuqua Valley. The Wildcats serving on the first set, but the Huskies show quick reactions as Godoki earns the point as her backhand drops just over the net for the point. Later in the set, Neuqua has a response as Sanaya Joseph pounces on a return with a quick smash across the court to help the Wildcats take the opening set 21-13. In a back-and-forth second set, Gowda covers the back line for Neuqua and takes part in a lengthy rally. Joseph then smashes a return that stays in play for the point. Neuqua Valley takes the win in straight sets 21-13, 21-16. In two doubles, Amber Shi and Yilin Liu from Neuqua Valley will face Katrina Petrakite and Charisse Lee from North. On the Wildcat serve, Lee with a quick backhand flick of the wrist that drops in for the point for the Huskies. Neuqua serving later in the match as both Petrakite and Lee have a return, but the Wildcats take the point on a perfectly placed lob that lands near the back line. Neuqua takes the two-set victory 21-14, 21-8. Naperville North does get a win in four doubles behind Paula Sun and Varsha Parthasarathi. Moving on to the singles division, we see Naperville North sophomore Rakshita Ruparel, who qualified for state as a freshman, against Luna Han from Neuqua Valley, competing as a freshman herself. In the first set, Ruparel forces Han into a backhand lob and comes back strong with a smash for the point. Later in the set, the Wildcat returns the favor as Ruparel returns a backhanded lob, but Han is ready for the quick strike for the point. Despite being a freshman, Luna Han shows she has the ability to play beyond her years with some powerful smashes to help herself to a straight set victory for the blue and gold. In number 3 singles, Kanyanat Bajwarat is back for the Wildcats after a top 5 finish in doubles at state a year ago. She squares off with Katrina Petrakite. Early in the first set, Petrakite puts an overhead return right on the line for the point to help her cause. But her Wildcat opponent is able to seize control from there. Bajwarat forces Petrakite to the backhand lob, which allows her to wait back for the powerful smash. Another singles victory for Neuqua Valley in straight sets. On to the number 1 singles matchup where the state runner-up from a season ago, Hannah George, is back and ready for her junior campaign. Kelly Hu steps into the top spot for Naperville North. Hu hangs tough in the opening set with a smash that dives away from the reach of George to earn back-to-back points for the Husky. Hannah George does not stay down for long. Despite Han trying to move her around the court, the Wildcat is ready with each return before smashing down the lob to take the first set 21-7. George is in the far court now in the second set. She hooks an overhand smash down to the court for the point. She takes the win in 2 sets, 21-7, 21-8, as Neuqua Valley takes the team victory over Naperville North, 14-1, to start DVC play in impressive fashion.
Ramadan, the Islamic holy month of self-reflection and sacrifice, is running this year from March 11th to April 12th. After the break, hear from one Metea Valley track star about the balance between athletics, school, and the holy month.
Stay in the know at home or on the go with NCTV 17 News Update. This quick recap of everything happening in and around town will be delivered straight to your email inbox for free. Sign up today.
Metea Valley's Ramiz Abrar participates in Ramadan, where Muslims around the world fast during daylight hours. The Mustang has finished inside the top 3 at multiple track events this year while fasting. We have more on Ramiz running through Ramadan for our latest feature story here on NSW. After his first big race as a freshman, Metea Valley track and field runner Ramiz Abrar wasn't sure if he could compete during the Islamic holy month of Ramadan.
He literally came up to me at the end of it and said, "Coach, I don't think I can, do this during Ramadan, and so therefore he was kind of, not afraid, but definitely, wondering if he could truly be at his best because he's also such a consummate competitor as well."
The young Mustang turned to his faith in God and carried on running that season. He continued to learn what worked best for his body and what it took to make him a top athlete during Ramadan. 4 years later, and now a senior captain, Abrar has found his stride.
I mean, honestly, it is really challenging because, obviously running practices every day, going with no food, no water, it is really hard. But, I know I'm not the only athlete in the world who's doing it.
Every year, Muslims around the world observe Ramadan, which includes fasting each day from dawn until dusk. In years when the holy month falls during their seasons, Muslim athletes across many sports have developed routines to prepare themselves for the rigors of competition without the energy provided by food and water.
I know there are millions of other people who are performing at such a high level, so it helps keep me motivated. And like I said, I know God is with me every step of the way. So I know that I can do this.
The fasting times change every day because of the sunrise and sunset. On Tuesday, April 2nd, Abrar woke up at 4:40 a.m. for prayers followed by food. He went to the mosque around 5:20 and returns home around 6 a.m. to get ready for school. Classes end for the day at 2:25 p.m. and then it was off to track and field practice till 6.
6 to 7 is when I tried doing homework, and then after that, it's from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock is an extra hour I have to try to get any more homework done, anything else that I need to do. And then after that, it's going to the mosque, coming home, going to bed, waking back up.
In mid-March, just after the start of Ramadan, Abrar finished in 3rd place in the 800 meter at the DVC Indoor Track and Field Championships. His race started about 15 minutes after sunset, meaning that he was able to eat and drink. He also won the 800 at the Central Rocket Indoor Boys Invites and was a part of the 4x800 winning relay team at the Rockford Auburn Invitational.
When I was younger, back in middle school, I really wasn't that good. And I've put a lot of effort into getting to where I am today. And to be able to know that I can still compete with everyone else at a very high level while I'm fasting just makes me super excited for when I'm done fasting, for when it's outdoor season and my body will be at top performance. I'll be in peak shape. I know I'll definitely be able to contend with some big dogs out there.
While Ramadan is hitting the home stretch, the outdoor track and field season is just getting off the starting blocks. Abrar qualified for state in the 800 last season, making the cut by 1/10 of a second. The hope for another memorable spring for the Mustang senior and his teammates awaits at the finish line. Gabriel Wu and Neuqua Valley boys water polo took on Metea Valley, where Wu scores a nice goal for the Wildcats. Neuqua is already up 3-0 with just under 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Wu gets the pass inside off the restart, and he gets smothered by 4 Mustang defenders. It doesn't matter to the Wildcat. He scores a backhand goal to make it 4-0 in the first. Taking another look at the goal, look at the quick moves by Wu. And he does just enough to score and earn our boys' Play of the Week. After the break, we'll head to the rain-soaked pitch for a girls' soccer matchup between Naperville Central and Waubonsie Valley. Then we'll wrap up the show with our final Play of the Week.
You made a cow.
Actually, it's a piggy bank. My inspiration to start saving.
How about a more solid way to save?
I'm listening.
Well, BMO helps get your savings habit into shape with a cash reward every month you save.
Cash reward?
And there's a cash bonus when you open a new checking account to get you started.
Wow. Anything you can't do?
Mugs.
Naperville Crime Stoppers.
Yes, I'd like to report some suspicious activity in my neighborhood. How does this work?
Yes, thanks for calling. Your call is anonymous, and I will not ask for your name. Instead, you'll be identified by tip number. In a few weeks, call back with the tip number you received, and I will let you know the status of your tip. If an arrest is made, you could receive a reward up to $1,000.
How do I get the reward money if you don't know who I am?
Well, when you call back, we set up a time and a place to drop the money. You will be safe, and nobody will know you gave Crime Stoppers a tip.
Okay, well, here's what's going on.
It's a cold, rainy, and windy evening at Waubonsie Valley High School. The Warriors host the DVC opener against the Red Hawks of Naperville Central. The Red Hawks came out victorious in last year's matchup, but both teams line up differently in 2024. In the first half, Red Hawk Chloe Mowry rifles one across the box, but Warrior keeper Lauren Barmhoff is there to grab it. Waubonsie now looking to create some offense. Taylor Amadian gets the through ball and toes one towards the goal. It's easily caught by Central goalie Aaron Hackett. Red Hawk Emerson Burke is on the spot for the penalty kick. The freshman tries to go down the middle, and Barmhoff is there for the clutch save. It's 0-0 heading into halftime. The Warriors kick off the second half with a cross inside the box. After a couple of deflections, Cecilia Galarza scores one into the bottom right corner. Galarza and her teammates are hyped up as they lead 1-0. About 3 minutes later, the Red Hawks respond. Malia Shen frees herself up for a long-distance shot, and this one cannot be hit any better. The sophomore bends one over the goalie's head, and even she is amazed by the goal. We're all tied at 1 as we head into overtime. In OT, Amadian works her way into the box and shoots between 3 Red Hawk defenders. She calls game, placing it perfectly at the far post. Waubonsie Valley opens conference play with a 2-1 win over Naperville Central. It's a breezy Saturday afternoon, and we've got an ESCC girls soccer matchup with Bennett Academy hosting Marist. The squads last faced off in March 2023, and Bennett won 7-0. 6 minutes in, and the Red Wings try to clear the ball out of the box, but Marist freshman Mia Sherry recovers the ball off of Bennett goalie Kate Grubish. She strikes it into the top right corner, and the Red Hawks take a 1-0 advantage over the Red Wings. 23 minutes remain in the first half. Bennett's Megan Bergman sends the ball through towards the final third, and in an offensive skirmish, sophomore Ivana Vukas gets a hold of it and seals the deal for the goal. Natalie Grover follows it to make sure it's in, and we're all square at 1. Red Wing Ann Fitzgerald retakes possession and heads down the right wing. She sends in a nice ball to Vukas, who shows off the touch and finishes it from inside the box for the brace. Bennett flips the script and takes its first lead of the game, 2-1. Vukas is hungry for the hat trick. She dribbles it off a long pass, but it's denied for the score. It's 2-1 Bennett heading into halftime. In the second half, both defenses stood tall. Marist has a chance on the free kick, but the cross from Vivian Corona cannot be capitalized inside the box. With 11 minutes left, the Red Hawks are trying to tie up the game. Bennett denies any high-quality chance, and the shot from Corona sails over the goal. The second half would remain scoreless, and Bennett wins the E ESCC matchup 2-1 over Marist.
The rain didn't stop Naperville North's home opener for baseball this week, as it got pushed back from Monday to Friday. The Huskies sit at 2-2 looking to get over 500, but host Bennett, who's looking to rebound after losing 3 of their last 4 games. We start in the top of the first, with Bennett having the bases loaded. The Red Wings are able to strike first as Husky pitcher Yash Desai walks Josh Gagora and brings in Ryan Cebulka to put Bennett up 1-0. Next up is Charlie Kane, who continues the scoring frenzy for Bennett. He grounds it over to first, but the play at second isn't made in time, allowing Jeremy DeWilkins to score, making it 2-0 Red Wings. Things would continue on the next at-bat. This time, Brandon Soroki makes a sac fly out to left field that brings in Mark Iozzo to make the score 3-0 Bennett in the first. North, however, would put up a challenge. In the bottom of the first, Matt Sunshine bombs it out to left field for a double that brings in Joe Coffey to put the Huskies on the board down 3-1. On the next at-bat for North, the ball is tipped away on a wild pitch and batter Scott Walker reaches for first base. He makes it in time and it allows Sunshine to make a break for home to steal it, putting North down 3-2. The Bennett defense, however, wouldn't make things easy for North. Jake Reifenberg gets Desai swinging to give him a strikeout in the bottom of the second. Next man up is Matt Control, and he gets caught looking as Reifenberg collects one of his 9 strikeouts in the game. The game would still be 3-2 up until the bottom of the fourth. With the bases loaded, Reifenberg throws another wild pitch that bounces back behind home base and allows Charlie LaScala to steal home. The Huskies tie the game up at 3. Bennett, however, would retake the lead up 4-3 and would begin to put things away from there. Mark Iozzo hits another sac fly out to left field that brings in Cebulka to make it 5-3 Bennett. Then, to ice things up, Lucas Lawler's pop-up to center field is dropped by the Husky defense and allows Brandon Soroki to score another run. North would add a run late, but it wouldn't matter as Bennett wins 6-4 over Naperville North.
Let's head into the pool where Eleni Nicoludis and Naperville Central Girls Water Polo take on Naperville North. Nicoludis comes up with our first Girls Play of the Week for April. The Red Hawks are looking to bring the ball into North territory, and Nicoludis waits patiently for someone to get open. She can't find anyone, so the Red Hawk says, "Why not myself?" She shoots it perfectly into the top right corner for the goalie goal. Let's take another look at the play from the junior. Central would fall to their rivals. However, Nicoludis comes out with our Girls Play of the Week. That will do it for this week's show of NSW. Make sure to tune in again next week, where we could see 7 different sports in action. You can find our past highlights, feature stories, and community sports on nctv17.org and our NCTV17 Sports YouTube channel. You can also find us on social media at NCTV17 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy.